table, or random times table. This times this has to equal this, this times this has to equal that, etc. And I'm pointing to this, but this is an illegal answer because it doesn't have whole numbers. It has half here, etc.
So it's set up with just the black, and then you fill in the pink.
Yeah, and then the answer. There were eight solutions. Each of the blue is a solution, and they found this one, and this one, and that one, etc.
Nice.
Okay, so there are 8 solutions, and you may know. I maybe you know the details better than me. I remember something about, like, I think Harvard sponsors it every year or two, a discussion of the people that led the Cold War for the East and for the West. And like with the Cold War, all over, they got around and like talked about it. They said, well, this is what I tried doing, and this is what we were doing.
This is like on the Bletchley Park level.
Yeah, after it's all over. So, slightly different metaphor, but the dictum that I said to them is the best time to solve a problem is after you've solved it. So, we all came here on the couch, and what I had them do was each of them recalled some milestone, some event on the route to solving this problem. And we went around, I even gave one, so we went around twice. We got like 10 little discrete events. So, for example, one that I offered was, they had 7 answers, and that was annoying because they knew there were 8. Come on, take a look, you can see better. They knew there were 8, that they didn't get this one yet. Okay. And so I said one sentence and then left to get some tea in the kitchen. The one sentence was, could you order your solutions? And even faster than I thought, that immediately led to the answer. Because they said, okay, we got one that has a 1 in the upper left corner, one that has a 2 in the upper left corner, and then they immediately started saying, well, what about the 3? And then Eamon ran to the table and started writing this out. Nico also started writing it out at the board, and then they fought over the blue marker, etc.
Nico got it wrong.
Thank you.
Then I was grabbing for the marker to correct it.
So, yeah, and there were other milestones along the way. I insisted, in part because they looked a little droopy, I insisted that they not work on it alone, that they work on it with each other. When Constance's mother was here, Constance showed me, it was very good. I said, Constance, do your impersonation of you working together. And then she would, that was it. That was her impersonation of her working together with the other students. So we worked on that a little bit. Okay. This is Max's, one of his moments of brilliancy, that he didn't realize that the boundaries of number theory are that we're only talking about whole numbers. So he started conceiving of this number with fractions, which is great, right? But and then so I said, this is an example of a brilliant answer that's wrong, because I said it's like coloring outside the boundaries, yeah. Right? Because we're not allowed to use fractions, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, so that's a highlight. For all of them, it's so interesting. What you see in the light green is every corresponding number, but thought of in their prime factorization. Okay. Right? So the sentence that they repeated, I said, Eamon, who is your best friend? And Eamon says, prime factorization is my best friend. And said, Nico, who is your best friend? Prime factors are my best friend. So they said that because they were forced to, but I'm not sure they really believe it yet. So for example, early on, I think it was Nico described something as like, instead of 8, it's like 8 minus 4 is 4. So he was taking away half, but that's a goofy way of doing it. He was doing it through addition, rather than thinking of it like straight ahead through like division and multiplication. So they were kind of, yeah, they were just framing it in a different way. And they started to get close to the idea, which we'll do with the Cuisenaire rods next week, that all this is about is like you're kind of, it's a combinatorics problem. You're kind of moving things back and forth. You're shifting whether the 3 is here or here, like like to be able to kind of make readjust the prime factors and end up with different numbers. So right now they got the 8 solutions, but they got a kind of quasi happenstance. And then next week we'll just kind of be able to go very methodically, bang, bang, bang. These are all the 8 answers. That's it. Problem's over. So for example, the insight that they had here was something like, compare this with this. That now we see the 24 is decreased to 12, so it's half. On the other hand, the 3 has gotten twice as big to get 6, and there's a kind of a balancing, a kind of compensating feel to it. And that's the idea of shifting the prime factors into one cell or the other. So yeah, it was very, very good work. And it was good to get them talking. Yeah, and I think it'd be great for you to elicit kind of war stories about this and what it was like for them. Max was particularly just wanting to talk about what it was like when he made this movement, which is great, just very, very good. So yeah, I would encourage asking them about that.